There is a strong, strong possibility that the attempt on President Trump's life in Butler, Pennsylvania, and what happened in West Palm Beach at that golf course, driven, planned, plotted, executed by Iran. That has been made abundantly clear by the government. They have told everybody.
We're following breaking news. 3 U.S. officials have confirmed with NBC News intelligence about an Iranian plot to assassinate former President Donald Trump.
U.S. intelligence officials detected an Iranian plot against former President Donald Trump.
An ongoing threat by Iran against a number of senior officials, including former government officials like President Trump.
The U.S. government received intelligence from a human source that indicated that the Iranians were plotting to try to kill former President Donald Trump.
See Tony Blinken in there? Former President Trump. All right, so it's been established. We know they're after Trump. President Trump has been briefed. They actually gave him a brief on this. There is an Iranian assassination plot underway to get Trump. So what do we do? What else do we do besides tell everybody? If you're the President of the United States, you make jokes about killing Trump.
I always felt you were going to probably do 4 years and then try to figure out where to go with Kamala. Then he just wouldn't go. He was like a bug. He just kept being there. He was like a bug right there. Zzz. So you felt...
Big laugh, swatting the fly, killing the fly, putting him in jail. Well, what else would we expect from Joe? Maybe presidential leadership. Let's face it, America is not in a good place right now, right? We have one backwards, upside-down country we're living in. 30 years ago, we were in a better place. I may not have been thrilled with Bill Clinton, but, you know, when somebody threatened a former president of the United States, you kind of threatened America. That actually happened in 1993. George H.W. Bush was the subject of an Iraqi assassination plot. Here's what we did.
Just about 6 hours ago, U.S. forces launched Tomahawk missiles against an Iraqi intelligence site in Baghdad. President Clinton ordered the strike after there was what he called compelling evidence Saddam was behind the plot to kill former President Bush. Mr. Bush visited Kuwait in April to accept an honor for his role in leading coalition forces in the Gulf War. President Clinton's message to Saddam: you will not go unpunished.
Wow. President Clinton. He just beat him in an election a couple of months earlier. There might have been real friction between the two. That's leadership. Bill Clinton has his faults, had his faults, of course. But on that day, he did the right thing. America did the right thing.
This evening, I want to speak with you about an attack by the government of Iraq against the United States and the actions we have just taken to respond. This past April, the Kuwaiti government uncovered what they suspected was a car-bombing plot to assassinate former President George Bush while he was visiting Kuwait City. The Kuwaiti authorities arrested 16 suspects, including 2 Iraqi nationals. Following those arrests, I ordered our own intelligence and law enforcement agencies to conduct a thorough and independent investigation.
And they verified it as true, and then the missiles started flying. Wow. That's leadership. What do we have right now? We got Joe. We got weird, awkward, on his way out, bitter, mad guy who I think in his heart of hearts wants harm to come to President Trump. I do. He wouldn't be acting like this. The whole of government. What happened to President Trump twice? You got to leave it to President Trump. He has to do it himself. He has to do everything himself, it seems like. And what would he do as president? He made it clear today.
If I was president and the candidate was under threat, any candidate, Republican or Democrat, if I were the president, I would inform the threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. We're going to blow it to smithereens. You can't do that. And there would be no more threats.
That's leadership. What do they call it? Peace through strength, right? Textbook. You know, if that sounds extreme, it's actually not. We invaded Iraq in 2003, in part because George W. Bush was mad at Saddam Hussein about that plot against his dad. We already fired a bunch of Tomahawk missiles at the country, but W made it clear that he harbored real resentment against Hussein for what he did, and many believe it was a component in his choice to go to war.
There's no doubt his hatred is mainly directed at us. There's no doubt he can't stand us. After all, this is the guy that tried to kill my dad at one time.
I mean, no weapons of mass destruction. We know they lied about weapons of mass destruction, right? Maybe this was the real reason why we went in. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, two times, and they don't even want to really beef up the Secret Service, right? They resisted that. They resisted, and they didn't claim responsibility. Oh, this is somebody else's fault, not us, not us. Today, Donald Trump had a few things to say about the lead investigative agency into what happened, the FBI. First, they tried to sabotage his campaign in 2016. They tried to sabotage his presidency, and they may have just sabotaged his re-election efforts in 2020, right? The Hunter Biden laptop, all that stuff. And what are they up to right now? Anyway, President Trump with some well-deserved criticism for the Bureau.
The FBI has been unable to open the 3 potentially foreign-based apps. And in the second case, the assassin had 6 cell phones in his car, yet the FBI has likewise been unable to penetrate their guard. Shouldn't be tough to do. They want to know, and I want to know, and the whole country and maybe the world wants to know, who is he calling? Who is he calling?
Yeah, who were these guys calling? What's his name? Crooks? And the other guy, Ruth? Who were they in touch with? Guy Ruth had 6 cell phones. We want to know, what is the holdup? Check it out.
In the old days, the FBI and the DOJ used to capture people before anything happened. In current days, the upper echelon of the FBI is all talk while they focus on the sitting president's political opponents. That's what they're doing. They spend so much time. We won the case in Florida. It's all a big scam. It's all against a political opponent, me.
You can't argue with him, can you? Huh? Director Ray, the rest of you guys, there's no arguing with this. He's got you. He's got you. All right, next.
They must get Apple to open these foreign apps, and they must get Apple to likewise open the 6 phones from the second lunatic, who's a lunatic, and open them immediately, because we have a lot at stake. Whether it's me or any other former president, they break into apps all the time. They had no problem breaking into the apps of the J6 hostages. They broke into those apps. And they could be Iran-based. They could also be something else. But we'll never know until they're open.
That is amazing. You know, the FBI, the federal government, more like energized by January 6th than this assassination attempt, these 2 assassination attempts. And to put a cherry on the horrible ice cream sundae, what does the government do? They go out of their way to find a Trump hater to investigate the assassination. That guy right there is Jeff Veltri, head of the Miami office. He's in charge of the investigation into the assassination, and he is a Trump hater. He was posting this stuff on Facebook, big time, all over the place. Erase those comments because, well, that would look bad for the Bureau. But he still gets to. So Donald Trump's skepticism about the FBI and the whole of government, quite frankly, I share it. When you have a president of the United States talking to his opponent like this in public, not only we see it, the federal employees see it. What kind of signal does that send?
I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
So when you talk about that, talk like that, I think that language set up the assassination attempt to begin with, right? And it tells the government to, well, if you want to do something bad to this guy, he's not going to be upset. Look, there's a great big new Senate report on the assassination attempt in Butler. All right, it's fascinating stuff what they came up with. I'll go through it when we come back. Hey, one thing, Crooks, the shooter in Butler, he got his drone to work that day, but the Secret Service, the federal government, couldn't figure it out.